Hello guys, welcome to my channel .NET Expert. Today onwards, we'll start preparing for C#.NET interview questions, and I'll try to cover as much as questions possible in the videos. Like I'll try to pick up a topic, pick up a question. I'll try to execute in the Visual Studio and show you like what exactly the answer will be. So here we will just start with one of the basic questions, and we'll just keep moving to the next questions. And if you guys are not aware of what is .NET and how the project can be created, so what you guys can do, you can just go back to my previous videos and start creating a sample application or a small application so that you'll understand what is the .NET applications and what is C#. And this is mainly I'm trying to focus on the people who's trying to prepare for the interviews, especially the freshers. Uh, and these are all the questions can be expected even when you're experienced person also have people those who want to just go out and start preparing for the interviews, and maybe these videos will be very useful for you guys. So I'll try to keep it as short as possible. So let us move on to the topic directly. So one of the famous question what you can expect from an interview, they'll ask you like what is the var and dynamic keywords and what is the difference between them. So let us see what is a var, what is the dynamic keywords. So let me just try to explain you in the in the wordings saying okay what is a var. So variables are declared using a var keyword. It's a statically typed. So what is the meaning of that? So ideally we know we are the variables whatever we creating it. If we don't know the what is the exact type of it, and we don't know what exactly you're going to get out of that, so that time we can just go ahead and use a var keyword. So I'll just try to keep it very simple here. So let us go back to the Visual Studio and understand what is this var keyword are statically typed. So let me just open Visual Studio. So I have created a console application. So if you guys don't know how to create a console application, so you can always just go here and you can just click on new project, and here in the template section you can select the console app. You can go to the next, and you can just provide the name of your project, and you can just go ahead and you can select the framework, whatever the framework you want to do it. So this can be done at any framework because it's a very simple a small examples how I'm trying to get it. So once you click on create, I think you should be able to have a new project is created here. So at the same time I have created a class here. So how to create a class, I'll just go ahead and right click on this and click on add and click on new item. I'll just provide a name here like okay, right now just like call this class as a dynamic var. You can just provide what are the class name you want to do that. So here I just create a method. So I hope if you guys don't know what is a method, so it's a method, just something to have some executor line of code. So this method can be consumed outside the class as well. So I have declared the method, and in the program.cs I have created an object for this dynamic var and trying to call the dynamic variables. So as simple as possible. So let us create a variable. So var type. So it's var keyword. I'm just using it. So I'll just call it as I'll just like make it as example value var. So I'll just call this as 10. So let us try to put this in the console dot write line, and I'll try to get the type of it as well. So console dot write line, and let me put example value val that get type. So get type is something like which will just let you know what exactly the type of the variable. So let us put the, I hope already have the read line in the program.cs, so you don't have to worry about that. So let us just run this. So here you can see here the value which I assigned is 10. So it is a system.in32. That's true. Like what are the value which I assigned here is 10. So it should be system.in32. So let me put some different values now. So let me put a string value. So I'll just say Virat Kohli, and I'll just execute this. I think in this type I'm going to expect system.string. So here what we can see here, so where is a it is something like what are the value assign it will become a type of it. That is nothing but a var. So I try to understand this very clearly. So if you assign some double values or like float or whatever it is. Ideally, what are the value you're assigning here? It will become the type of that particular variable become what are the value you're assigning it. So here we assigned integer and here we assigned uh, a string. So let us do one more thing, like the static. Static, the word which it says the variables are declared using a var keyword are statically typed. So that means if you try to let me try to change that example value where what are the variable which are created. I will try to assign a integer value to that. So the moment I try to do that, just see the exception you're getting. So it is saying you cannot implicitly convert type into its string. So ideally, this has become a like the type of the particular variable, it has become a string. So you can assign back only the string values to that, right? So let me just go ahead and say, okay, Rohit Sharma. So this is allowed, but not the other way. If you cannot assign any other values to this apart from the string values, because ideally it is a once you assign a value, it has become a static variable kind of thing. So here you can see it is a value got updated. That is fine. So that's what the first statement whatever it says. Okay, so the type of the variable is decided by the compiler at the compile time. So you guys have to understand what is compile time and what is runtime. So compile time in sense like, okay, the moment I write some code here, so you can just like compiler will try to compile it, saying, okay, see the values whatever you're going to assign it, it will not when you try to run the application, that is gonna be different. Compiler is something like we'll try to check for that if there is any bug for that. I mean, if there is any the code whatever written is wrong or something like that. So the compiler will help you to identify when you write the code itself. So this whatever the value declared it, okay, it is decided at the compile time itself. Okay, so it's decided in the sense like, okay, the moment I write it, the moment I assign this value to that, okay, the compiler decides. The moment I'll try to the compile it, it is says it is going to be string value always. So, and the variable of this type should be initialized at the time of declaration. So the compiler will decide the type of the variable according to the value initialized. So here, let us go back to the Visual Studio and let us now try to initialize this. See what it says. It says implicitly typed variables must be initialized. So it is directly saying if okay if you're making it as var, so make sure your the value whatever you're declaring it is, it must be initialized. Okay, just keep all these points remembered so that like whenever you I suggest you guys to just code and write it on your own. Even it looks like very simple, but once you write this code, it's impossible to forget that. Okay, so just understand these points and it's very useful for you. And as I said, if the variable does not initialize, it throws an error. So if you don't initialize, yes, it says, oh boss, you have to just code and initialize the values for this. Yes, I'm going to initialize. Okay, it finds now. I hope the concept of var keyword is clear for you guys. So let me know in case if you guys have any queries on that. Let's move on to the another keyword, dynamic keyword. So till now we understood like what is a var, and let us understand what is dynamic. So dynamic variables are declared using dynamic keyword are dynamically typed. So dynamically typed in the sense, let me declare a dynamic variable. So I'll just call it as dynamic value dynamic, example value dynamic. Okay, so here the first point what it says, it's dynamically typed. So here I will just assign uh, a string to this. Let us call it a different player, and here I will try to just print this. Sorry for the typo error, just stay with me. Okay, so here we'll try to get the type of it. So here, ideally, you can see here the moment we create it, we cannot get the type of it because it is not sticking onto the particular type here. So if I'm trying to get the same, what are the method name which I gave there, the dot get type, it is not allowing me to do that. So just go ahead and see this here. I can't. It does not have any methods or anything because the values, whatever you're assigning, it can be changed dynamically. So now it's a string type. We know that. So let us do one thing. Let's try to run this. So here, yes, you can see the value, whatever we got it is Burumra. So just to make it clear on this, what I will do, I will just put some string onto this where keyword value. Okay, and let me call the below one as type. So just don't forget to put plus to that. So here I'll just copy the same and I'll just put here and I'll just call it as dynamic keyword value. Okay, so if I run this, yeah, so you can see here what is a var keyword value. So like what's the type of it, we saw that. And now what we will do, we will try to assign a new value to the dynamic variable now. So here I'll just say 10. See, it is accepting that value. It's not throwing any values, I mean any error here. It is just accepting it. That's the power of the dynamic variable. So here if I try to print it again, so it should change to 10 now. Let us see it on the output window now. You can see here it is directly showing okay. Initially okay, the same variable was holding Boomra and now it's holding the value of 10. So this is it guys, like this is the one of the major differences what you guys can see it between the dynamic and as well as the var keyword. So there are few more points, like the type of variable is declared at that by the compiler at the runtime. So here how this the type of the variable is decided, it's not decided at the compile time. That's the reason we don't have any options to get the type of it, right? So it is not decided by the compiler at the run, like by the compiler time. It is decided at the runtime. So when I run the application, right, the type of the variable is decided at that time. It's not decided on the compiler time. So just understand these points are very very important. And the next point here is, so the variables of this type is need not to be initialized at the time of declaration because the compiler doesn't know the type of the variable at the compiler time. So you don't have to worry about initializing the value to that. So we saw it, right? Like for the where we have to make sure, like we are initializing some value to that. Okay. So if we here the variable doesn't initialize, it will not throw any error. So let us see it. So let us see that. So now I'll just remove this. Just run and see what happens. See here, since we have initialized, you cannot, it does not have any value. That's the reason it started throwing the error. So let me just take out this. So here we initialize it. So at the time of declaration, yes, we just declared it and we not initialize any value to that. So we initialize it later. So let us go ahead and run it. See, this is something like this values decided at the runtime. That's it guys, like this is the difference between the var and the dynamic keywords, and this is very very important. So I hope the explanation whatever I provided, it helped you little bit much more better to understand what exactly the concepts are. So I'll just try to make more videos, and let me know if you have any queries in the comment section, and let me know feedback on the videos what I'm trying to do it. And also guys, like I just like I do provide a training and job support for multiple technologies like Azure, Docker, Kubernetes, DevOps, CI/CD pipelines, Angular, .NET Core, Web API, MVC. So SQL Server, C Sharp. So we do have like the huge team. Like we have a employees organization, and we've been trying to help the people around the world, and we've been trying to train them and make sure we do train them for the interviews as well with the proper question and answers. And yes, people are ready, and if they don't know what exactly the question and answers, and if they want to have any preparation, please contact us and let us know like how we can help you guys. Like you can just like send me a message in the WhatsApp, or you can try to join our Telegram channel. I just provided the Telegram channel link in the description, so you can just click on it and join there. I'll keep posting the videos. I'll just keep giving the updates on. We do have some demo classes in the coming days, so we will be doing that on frequently. So that's all, guys. That's it from my side, and thank you so much for your time. All the best for your interview. Thank you. See you again. Bye bye.